It is now time to sew on the belt to the overalls. So let's get to the sewing of it all. As I have it pinned right where I want it, the only problem I'm having is I can't use my brother's sewing machine fully. I might be able to do it, but I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do this by hand, and that's not gonna be too bad. I think it's all these lineages and things is making it kind of stop, because there's kind of like some texture there with folds and stuff that's kind of making the needle not want to do anything. So at least it's not like a pocket where you can't see what you're doing. So this won't be too bad. All I gotta go is in, out, in, out. As I get my thread ready to put in the needle, if you are curious, just to let you know, I make sure it's touches the floor and goes slightly up in the air somewhat to hopefully have enough, and it won't, and not so little, and not so much that it tangles too much. And now the joys of putting the thread through the needle. Oh my gosh, it does take a few little tries sometimes. That hole is tiny, but I finally got it. I just rolled around my finger and made a nice loop and did what you see here. Now let's get the bad boy in and sew it by hand. Yep, and I even tied it underneath the 2 layers. Then it would be encased the tie I did, as you can see. Now I'm going to the back and everything up, down, and around. And yes, I did decide to sew up the sewing machine. As I saw, there was part that was thinner. And yep, like I thought, I could do it with sewing machine. Even though throughout I was sewing, it was snapping the thread. So I just had to keep putting it back in. But I had to go back on myself to make sure that it was going to stay and not be undone. So that's what I did if it snapped. So at least I was able to troubleshoot it and just as it snapped, put it back in, keep sewing and all that. So it definitely being on that is good. So that is nice and done. I just have a tiny bit to do here that I'm pretty sure I should just do by hand because of being on the thick part with all of these, with all those lineages, which makes it too complicated for at least the brother sewing machine I have, but still a great sewing machine. So now all I gotta do is the back. But what I could potentially do, as it is stretchy, I might take it and make it go on this and then on that as well, because I think it might be wide enough that I could potentially do on both of the edges. So if I can do that, then I'll be able to sew it more. I just have to leave the parts that are actually right on this to do by hand, and that's just a tiny bit of sewing. So yeah, there we go. We just have the second to last one to add, and that's what it looks like in the front. Now fully done. I'm very happy with it. Came out very nice using the sewing machine and by hand. All the little bits I had to do, and it gave it a nice little oomph. So at least for now, the belt is finished.